What if I told you India's richest farmers don't rely on rain, they defy it? This is Baseri in Rajasthan, aka Mini Israel.
A place where you have to drill 150 meters just to find salty water.
Where the earth is tough and the sun is relentless. This is where farming dreams usually come to die.
But look closer, these aren't buildings, they're farming factories and they are printing money.
Over 500 farmers in this village didn't just get lucky, they engineered a miracle.
Their combined turnover? Over rupees 250 crores. They live in mansions, they drive SUVs, they turned a wasteland into a farming paradise. And what's happening here isn't making farmers rich, it's making them climate proof.
Now let's get ready to go to Bheruram Ji's Karorpati Polyhouse farm.
A few years back, Bhairuram Jat was just another farmer praying for rain. Today, he doesn't even look at the sky. Because inside these polyhouses, he controls the weather. His family now runs 9 polyhouses, earning an annual income in crores.
हाँ राम सा मारो नाम बैरूराम थाकण છે और मैं गांव बसेड़ी को रह बोलो छूं। पहला पोली हाउस लगाया था हमने 2012 में और आज की तारीख में यहाँ 2000 पोली हाउस है। पहले हमारी 10 लाख रुपए की आमदनी थी साल भर की। आज हमने इस पोली हाउस के दौर में आने के बाद में 1 करोड़ 4 लाख तक हम एक साल भर का रिटर्न ले चुके।
Om Prakash Verma earlier used to farm in the traditional way. One bad monsoon meant his family didn't eat. Now with his poly house, he grows food all year round. His children are healthy in college and his family hasn't known hunger in years.
बाहर जब भी खेती करते थे उसमें कोई आवारा पशु आ जाते थे या और कुछ हो जाते या पाला पिट जाता था या कोई बरसात ज़्यादा होती कम हो जाती थी तब बहुत नुकसान हो जाता था किसानों की। अब इसमें ग्रीन हाउस लगाने के बाद में हमारे को कुछ भी नुकसान नहीं होता। इसमें मौसम का कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता हमारे। बाहर है ना, बाहर कुछ भी हम कुछ करते थे ना उसमें लाख 1.5 लाख भी नहीं बचत होती थी हमारी। हम 30-35 लाख रुपए साल की बचत हो जाती है हमारी।
This isn't just about money. It's about building a food system that won't collapse when the climate does.
पानी की कमी को देखते हुए राजस्थान को पीछे मत मानो आप। पानी की बचत करना सीखो आप। पानी कैसे बचेगा और खेती कैसे होगी।
But to understand exactly why Baseri is so revolutionary, we first need to understand the scale of the challenge facing Indian agriculture. It's a threefold crisis. First, the climate crisis. 52% of our farmland is rain-fed. That's over 70 million hectares of land and the livelihoods of millions of farmers entirely dependent on an increasingly erratic monsoon. The UN FAO reports that climate change could cut Indian agricultural incomes by up to 25% in the coming years. Second, the productivity crisis. While we are among the world's top producers of many crops, our yields per hectare often lag behind global averages. For instance, India's average tomato yield is about 24 tons per hectare. In poly houses like Baseri, it's over 200 tons. We have limited land. To feed 1.5 billion people by 2030, we must grow more from less. Third, the economic crisis. An NSO survey revealed that the average monthly income of an agricultural household is just over 10,000 rupees. This economic vulnerability is the root cause of immense distress. This is what status quo looks like: falling incomes, rising risks, and growing population to feed. This isn't just a farming problem, it's a national security challenge. The good news? Across India, a new generation of agri-change makers are tackling our biggest challenges with stunningly simple solutions. Challenge 1. Brilliant solutions don't always reach everyone. What if a farmer has a great idea, but it never reaches beyond his village? How do we take these brilliant solutions to millions of farmers? The solution? Build bridges to connect farmers to markets and technology. This is where Bihar's Abhishek Kumar comes in. He saw that small farmers often struggle to sell their produce for a good price. So he started working with farmers producer organizations. An FPO is like a union for farmers. By coming together, they have more power. Abhishek helps these FPOs with 2 key things. Number 1, processing. He helps them set up solar dryers to turn tomatoes into tomato powder or mangoes into mango chips. This means the food doesn't spoil quickly and farmers can sell it for a higher price all year round. Number 2, market access. He connects these FPOs directly to big companies and supermarkets, cutting out the middlemen. He has already helped over 95 FPOs, impacting lakhs of farmers. He is the missing link that takes a local success story and makes it a national opportunity. Challenge 2, losing our strongest seeds. India is losing its ancient treasure trove of indigenous varieties. For years, farmers have been encouraged to grow only a few types of high-yielding wheat and rice. But what if a disease attacks that one type of rice? The entire harvest could be lost. The solution? Save and grow the old traditional seeds that are naturally strong. This is the life's work of Cheruvayal Raman from Kerala, a living library of seeds. He has saved 54 different kinds of indigenous rice. Why are these old seeds so important? Because they are naturally resilient. Some are drought resistant, others flood resistant. By saving these seeds, Raman isn't just preserving history. He is saving a toolkit for our survival. If climate change makes farming harder, these native seeds could be the answer. Challenge number 3, small farmers getting left behind. Small farmers, landless laborers, and especially women often don't have resources or power to change their situation. They are the most affected when things go wrong. The solution? Bring people together and empower them. Odisha's Raymati Ghuria trains women's collectives to grow native millets, nutritious, low-water, climate-resilient crops. She is simultaneously tackling climate risk, malnutrition, and women's economic empowerment, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of resilience and growth. Challenge number 4, risky and inefficient farming. In India, some crops are still grown in ways that are dangerous for farmers and inefficient. Let's take makhana or foxnuts. Bihar produces 90% of the world's makhana, but for generations, harvesting it was a dangerous job. Farmers had to dive 4 to 12 feet deep into muddy ponds to collect the seeds by hand. It was risky, caused injuries, and the yields were low. Plus, these deep ponds were often wiped out by floods. The solution? Use science to make farming safer and smarter. This is what Dr. Manoj Kumar did. He spent 10 years studying makhana. His first big discovery was a game changer. Makhana doesn't need deep water. It can grow perfectly well in water only 30 centimeters deep. This means farmers can now grow it in ordinary fields, not deep ponds. He also developed a new high-yielding variety called Suvarna Vaidehi that gives more seeds. So, Dr. Kumar's work solved multiple problems at once. He made farming safer, more reliable, and more profitable. The result? A risky crop is now a sustainable business for thousands of farmers. Challenge number 5, a soil that is tired and toxic. The problem is one we can't always see, but it's critical. Our land is getting sick. Imagine the soil as a living thing. For years to grow more and more food, we have been giving it a strong medicine, chemical fertilizers and pesticides. But over time, this medicine has made the land weak. It has lost the tiny living things, the microbes and earthworms that keep it healthy. The solution? Work with nature, not against it. In Punjab, a state facing a severe water table crisis and soil toxicity, Umendra Dutt is moving thousands of farmers back to organic practices. Instead of chemical fertilizers, farmers use homemade compost from cow dung and farm waste. Instead of pesticides, they use natural sprays made from neem leaves, garlic, and chili. And they grow a mix of crops together, which helps the soil stay fertile naturally. What happens next is amazing. The soil comes back to life. The crops might be a little smaller at first, but they are stronger, healthier, and often taste better. And because the cost of chemicals is zero, the farmer saves money and often earns more. So you see, the challenges in our fields are vast, but the solutions are tangible. From climate-proof poly houses in the desert to seed banks protecting our future, a new blueprint for Indian agriculture is been written not in textbooks alone, but on ground by these remarkable change makers. This is why at the Better India Showcase 2025, we celebrated these agri change makers and the incredible revolutions they are leading. We did it with the singular hope that their story would inspire many more to start. Their work proves that action, no matter how small it is never insignificant. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being a part of the solution. You don't need to own a farm. You just need to show care. Maybe it's about choosing to buy millets from local women's collectors. Maybe it's about asking your sabziwala if he sources from nearby FPOs. Choose native crops, back startups supporting small farmers. Or simply, it's about sharing this video with someone who needs to see that hope is growing right here in our soil. You are adding your seed to the foundation of a better India. The ripple begins with one individual. It's time to stop sympathizing and start supporting. Because this isn't just their fight, it's ours. Our food, our farmers, our future. So, what's your seed gonna be? What's that one small change you've seen or made in your relationship with food? We are genuinely curious. Tell us in the comments below and let's learn from each other. If you believe in solutions, then please hit that like button, share this story of hope and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching and thank you for being part of the change, for being part of a better India.